Hey there, Shawna Karrasch here with another Ask Shawna answer. Okay, this one comes from Ashleigh, and she says, hi there. I've started with your horse radio podcast. We are on lesson 2, staying relaxed, keeping her head to herself, and taking one step at a time. She was doing so well. She's amazing when I'm on her left. She matches my feet, and we can take 3 or so steps, and she's relaxed and stops beautifully, and her focus is on me without any tension or mugging. When I move to her right side, she really battles. At the halt, she is relaxed and happy. Hang on, did I lose my way? She really battles. At the halt, she is relaxed and happy. If I take a small half step forward, she will back up behind me and reposition herself with me on her left. Any suggestions on how to break this down further? Do I position myself right up against a fence where she has no space to get on my right, or am I missing something? Okay, you have a great thought process there, because that is one of the things that I do. If I have one really struggling and trying to get on the side, which I've taught them to be on, then I will kind of make it where it's not such a choice. You know what I mean? They can't really get there. So at some point they go, okay, that side. But what I might also do is really work more. So what I think is probably going on, sometimes there's horses that have not been handled on the other side very much. So they're like, this isn't right. I don't get on this side. Or sometimes they've had bad things happen on that side. So they're like, I'm more comfortable with you on the other side. Doesn't really matter. What you want to do is start to build a better reinforcement history on the other side. So basically she's saying this side is more reinforcing than this side. So that's where she wants to be. So what we need to do is now rebalance those scales, because there's a lot of reinforcement on this side of the scale. It says be on that other side, the left side. But on the right side, there's not a lot of reinforcement. So every time we put a reinforcer on this side of the scale, we start to chick, 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 and start to balance those scales. It'll get to this point where this is a little more than this, but it's not this, so it doesn't matter. Keep working through it. So what I might start doing is just the basic, keep your head to yourself, keep your head to yourself. Even though she's good with that, build it up just a little bit more so she's stronger with it. And then as you take a half step forward, hopefully, and also if you need to use your hand target a little bit to reposition her. I don't know if you've taught her a hand target. A lot of times I will use their name with an open hand. So it's a way that I can say, I don't think you told me your name, but I can say Henley. And Henley sees that. She goes, oh, okay, I hear my name. I'm going to look for my target to go to. So a lot of times I'll use that where I can help reposition their little body position. But going and just making it stronger on that side, just like you did with the other side, I think will help to rebalance that reinforcement history or that association. So take it with the little steps like that. The other thing, like you said, it's a really good thing to do is a lot of times it really starts with the Liberty leading. Like they're like, I can stand on this side, I can stand on that side, I can take a step and stop and turn my head away. But the leading turns into oh, I must get back over to this side. And you think about it, that's usually where we've led them. That has been a familiar part of their life. So I will kind of minimize it where it's like, there isn't that side to go to. Can we get to the other side? And remember, I think it's an intermediate step, because you don't want to stay here, but I will oftentimes reinforce them when they make the decision to go to the other side. So if I see them going, oh, I want to be, okay, I'll go here. I click and go, that's good thinking, because I like what's in their brain. I like the decision they made. I like them actively just choosing to go there. Now, you don't click that all the time, because you can turn that into a chain of behaviors. Like she's like, here, then there. Here, then there. We want her to get to the other side. But by telling her that was a good correction and that was a good thing is really valuable and can help clear up some of that confusion for her. So I think that is one way to do it. Another way is to do it on the other side of a fence. So now she's on one side of the fence, you're on the other side of the fence. This is technically what we call protected contact. But what in this situation, and sometimes we do it for our safety, like if I'm working with a horse, I'm like, I don't know. I want to make sure I'm in a safe place. But sometimes some of like the feral horses, or abused horses, they feel more comfortable with me on the outside. So it can be oftentimes a sense of safety. In her situation, I think it would just really be, that's the only side you've got. And start building up the reinforcement from that side may also help. And I think you had the right idea of going back to just taking one little step and one little step and one little step. So seeing if you can't minimize the choices that she has And then as she starts kind of going there readily, and she seems to get it, and she can walk, do a half step, and she stops and keeps her head away, and then you kind of build up till you can kind of walk with the fence on your one side, or the wall, or whatever it might be that minimizes her options there. Then you start kind of coming off of the fence a little bit, so she can kind of get sorted out that it's one side or the other. I typically, for me, I call it the default position. So I want, when they don't know what's going on, or I don't know what's going on, or they lose their way, or I want the behavior they go to if they think, I don't know what to do, I want them to come up to my right side, their left side, and stand and go, okay, I'm just going to stand here. I kind of call it a reset. This is a point where we rest, we reset, and they can go, I don't know, and we can start fresh and, kind of get our heads together a little bit. So I want them, when in doubt, to go to that side. So when I want to go to the other side, I have a tendency to call them and direct them, go, okay, we're going to lead on this side now. So I want them to be able to go to both sides, but sometimes I want to indicate, no, we're switching from the default side to the other side. So that's my preference, but you can do it any way you want to. It doesn't, just because I do it that way, that suits me and what my plans are, but you might have a different idea. You want to say whichever side. I don't like them kind of wiggly behind me, because I want to know what's going on back there, and if they're switching back and forth, I don't know. So so that's what I like to do. But you're on the right track. It's finding a way to help set her up for success, so you can create something worth clicking and being able to then build that reinforcement history. So great job, Ashleigh. I want you to keep on track with that. You're doing really well, I can tell. So you keep hanging in there, and it's a great question, and it was great for you finding your own solution. All righty, so if you have more questions, I'm kind of back and doing Ask Shawna's now. For a while, I kind of had a little, we had a lot going on and, changing of things, but now it's getting back to doing these on a regular basis. So I love my Ask Shawna answers, so I'm tickled to be back and doing this. So there you go. And if you have questions, of course, you can go to vianovatraining.com, and you can find the Ask Shawna section, the podcast section, the product section, and you can find out what we're up to at Villanova. Anyway, so there you go. Thank you for your question, and I hope that works for you, and I'd love to hear about your progress. Okay, bye for now.